When it comes to party wall agreements, most people don't realise that a small mistake early on can snowball into weeks of delays or even legal action. Hi, I'm Faye, Director at Clarke Chartered Surveyors. In this video, part of our Party Wall series, I'll be highlighting the most common mistakes people make with party wall agreements, and more importantly, how to avoid them. Let's start with the repeat offenders, the mistakes we see time and time again. Not serving notice at all. Many people don't realise they need to notify neighbours formally before carrying out certain works, even minor ones. That could be a legal requirement under the Party Wall Etc. Act 1996. Using the wrong notice. There are different types of notices for different types of work. Get it wrong and the whole process could be invalid. Serving notices too late. If you're planning to start next week, you've left it too late. Notices typically require 1 to 2 months' notice before any work can begin. Assuming verbal consent is enough. A handshake agreement won't hold up. Even if your neighbour says they're fine with the work, you still need formal consent in writing, or if they dissent, you'll need an award. Starting work without an award. This can lead to injunctions or disputes that stops your build in its tracks. These mistakes are easily avoidable, and avoiding them keeps your project on track and your neighbours on side. So, how do you stay out of party wall trouble? Start by planning ahead. If your project affects a shared wall, you're building at the boundary, or excavating close to your neighbour's property, assume the Act applies and build notice periods into your project timeline. Then, speak to a professional to confirm if and what works are notifiable. Next, serve the correct notice in writing, early. You'll need to give your neighbour at least 2 months for work on a party structure, 1 month for excavations or building at the boundary. Make sure it's properly completed with clear descriptions of the work and the correct sections of the Act cited. If there's any doubt about the type of notice or whether one is needed at all, get advice before serving anything. Invalid notices can lead to disputes or force you to start the process again. And finally, be realistic about how long these things take. If your neighbour dissents, the surveyor process will add time, often a few weeks to the schedule of works. Rushing ahead without clarity will only lead to delays. Documentation is the backbone of a successful party wall process. Here's a few tips. Always keep a copy of the notice served along with proof of service, like recorded delivery receipts, signed hand delivery confirmations, or even photos of you delivering the notice. Record neighbour responses in writing. Verbal agreements aren't enough. If surveyors are appointed, or even if your neighbour consents and you don't need surveyors, ensure a schedule of condition is completed and documented before work begins. If needed, make sure that once you receive your party wall award, that it is shared with all parties. That includes your design team, builders, or anyone else involved with the project. If a dispute arises later, this paperwork is your protection. Using templates from unverified online sources? Be careful. These often leave out key details that can invalidate your notice. At Clarke, we use in-house software to ensure that every document we produce is fully compliant with the Act, saving our clients from admin errors that could delay works. Documentation might seem tedious, but it's your best defence against misunderstandings and legal complications. One of the simplest but often most overlooked ways to avoid party wall issues is just talking to your neighbour. Let them know early on that you're planning work and explain what it involves. When a notice arrives, it won't be a shock and they'll be more likely to respond positively. You should avoid surprising them with legal letters out of the blue, dismissing their concerns or refusing to answer questions, assuming they'll be fine with it. Instead, you should be proactive and transparent. Offer to answer questions or even involve your surveyor in early conversations. Keep them updated as the project progresses. In our experience, the neighbour who feels informed is far less likely to raise a formal dispute. Now, communication won't solve every issue, but it will prevent many of them before they start. A party wall surveyor isn't just there for disputes. They can help guide you through the process from day one. When should you get professional help? If you're not sure that the Act applies, You need to serve notice, but you don't know which type. Your neighbour dissents or doesn't respond. You want to avoid delays and get things done properly. Surveyors should act impartially and professionally, ensuring legal compliance and protecting both sides. At Harrison Clarke, we provide everything from initial advice and compliant notices to full awards and neighbour consultations. We're also happy to offer informal guidance early in the process so small issues don't turn into big ones. It's always easier and cheaper to do it right the first time. Party wall agreements don't need to be a source of stress. With the right approach, good planning, clear communication, proper documentation and professional support, you can avoid the most common mistakes and keep your project moving smoothly. If you're unsure where to start or worried you might already have a party wall issue, don't hesitate to get in touch at our website, harrisonclarke.co.uk. At Harrison Clarke, we're here to help, from a quick consultation to full party wall services. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and check out the rest of our party wall series for more tips and insights. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.